let me see if I get this straight. Let me see if I understand this. So, Tim Tebow comes out of the University of Florida back in, I think it was 2010. Everybody and their brother said, look, appreciate what you did in college and blah-de-da and yada yada. You don't have what it takes to be a quarterback in the NFL, Tim. You just don't have it. You're not that, you're not good enough. You don't have the arm, you don't have this, you don't have that, whatever. It's not going to work. You should really consider playing tight end. You're sort of athletic. Maybe there's something you can offer to a team at the tight end position. No, Tim Tebow wasn't hearing that. No, can't change positions. God told me to play quarterback. That whole rigmarole. Okay, great, fine. Somebody takes pity on him, drafts him, rides the bench for a while, gets put into an injury or something. Turns out, oh my God, everybody was right. Guy's not any good. Doesn't have an NFL level arm. Not an NFL level or caliber quarterback. He's in and out of the league in a matter of a couple of years, right? Travels around in Africa for a while, circumcising little boys, comes back to the United States, decides, you know what else would be fun? I'm going to play baseball. Out of pity, some baseball team lets him tramps around in the damn minor leagues for a year or two. Turns out, guess what? Doesn't have what it takes to play professional baseball. Big shocker. Big shocker, I know. Then what does he do? Well, he finally runs off. Then he gets laid, which this was groundbreaking news. There was people that thought this would never happen. But yes, he did finally get laid when he was 28 or 29 years old, whatever it was. Goes out and gets married. So he was able to go ahead and get to know someone in the biblical sense, so to speak. Now he's sitting around. He's a married man. He ain't got shit to do. He's out cutting grass every Sunday. He's growing tomatoes and shit in the backyard, whatever the hell he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. But point is, he's bored, right? Urban Meyer gets hired as head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tim Tebow sitting at home in his underwear, scratching his nuts. He sees this on ESPN and he goes, It calls the guy up. They give him a tryout. Okay, fine. Publicity stunt. Jacksonville's terrible. And they've been in the news a ton over the last 6 months, basically, but since they were guaranteed the first pick in the NFL draft and everyone knew they'd be taking Trevor Lawrence. So you say, well, let's bring Tebow in. This will be another juice of publicity. We can get people talking about us again, blah, 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 whatever. Fine. Photo op. Bring this overweight, out of shape, hasn't done anything athletically in years, hasn't played football in, what is it? Has it really been 8 years since he played football? Yeah, bring him in. The same guy that refused to play tight end 12 years ago, now all of a sudden is just dying to play tight end in the NFL for none other than Urban Meyer. And of course, Urban Meyer says yes when Tim Tebow calls. Of course he does. Tim Tebow is Urban Meyer's pet rock. I mean, these two are peas in a pod. And first of all, truth in advertising, I can't stand Urban Meyer. I can't stand him. I think he's human garbage. The guy has made up how many fake life-threatening health conditions to weasel his way out of jobs every time the going gets rough. I just don't like the guy. This has nothing to do with that. This is just insane. But anyway, you give him a tryout, great. But now they're actually going to give this guy a roster spot. They are actually going to give Tim Tebow a roster spot on a 53-man NFL roster. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. This kind of stuff is dumb to do in college when you have 85 scholarships to hand out. 85 plus 15, 20 walk-ons or whatever. You go to a college football practice, there'd be 110 people there. I mean, there's more people there's more people on an average college football team than there is in attendance at a Miami Hurricanes home game. And even in that situation, it's completely ridiculous, completely retarded to be handing out pity scholarships, or in the case of Tim Tebow this time, pity roster spots. And there are some teams that do it in college. I mean, Brent Venables and the Clemson Taters. Brent Venables has a kid. He's not any good at football. No one wants him. Oh, don't worry. Dabo and the Tater man will go ahead and give him a scholarship to be on Clemson's team. I mean, so that stuff like that does happen sometimes. But to do that in the NFL when you only have 53 roster spots, just think about how many players there are in the NFL or coming out of college that have been playing tight end since they were, playing midget ball. And they got to sit around and look at Tim Tebow taking a spot that they could be having on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And why? 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 Tim Tebow has never played tight end. He hasn't played football at all in 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it is. He's going to get absolutely murdered by defensive ends, outside linebackers, safeties in coverage. Do you know how many people there are in the NFL right now literally licking their lips for an opportunity to cut Tim Tebow in half? A bunch of them, for different reasons. Different people have different reasons for wanting to do that. But Tim Tebow is going to get absolutely annihilated in the NFL. I looked it up. They're claiming this guy, Tim Tebow, weighs 260 pounds now. Now, he was always a little thick and chunky. He was always built kind of wide or whatever, which helped him in college because he did a lot of running with the football. Oh, let me say this too, because, I just hate Urban Meyer. That's why I'm making this video. Oh, Tim Tebow went to Florida. You hate Florida. That's why I'm making this video. Yeah, I hate Florida. Listen to me, Florida man, and anybody else typing that dumb shit in the comment section right now before they type hashtag 1980. Tim Tebow, in my opinion, one of the best 5 or 10 at the worst SEC football players of all time. Yeah, I hate Florida. I hate a lot of teams. I respect talent at the college level when I see it. And Tim Tebow was an amazing college quarterback, an amazing college football player. Stats back it up. Look at the effect he had, not just on Florida, but on the SEC, on the college game as a whole. Tim Tebow, one of the best 5 or 10 SEC players of all time, period. And that's not even up for debate. That's just not up for debate. No matter what you want to look at, accomplishments, titles, record while he was there, impact and effect he had on the team and college football in general. Anyway, just one of the greatest college football players of all time. I can respect a great college football player. Being a great college football player does not necessarily make you a great NFL player, and we figured that out with Tim Tebow. I mean, everybody knew that about Tim Tebow. But somebody gave him a shot in the NFL anyway, and Denver had him out there completing a pass or two. People were going nuts. It was crazy, but it turns out it wasn't any good. Like I said, he got out of the league. So no, I don't like Florida. I don't like Urban Meyer. This doesn't even do with that. This is just insane. I mean, it's just a bad idea. This is just a bad idea. You're one of the worst franchises in the league, Jacksonville. This draft lined up pretty good for you. You ended up with what most people think is a can't-miss prospect at quarterback, and those are rare. Those are very rare. But you get Trevor Lawrence, multiple first-round picks. Hell, you get Travis Etienne, who I happen to think was the best running back in college football the last 2 years. Very close between him and Najee Harris, and if somebody else thinks Najee Harris is better, I'm certainly not going to argue with him. He's an amazing player, too. They're 1A and 1B. But you're loaded up on draft picks. You have a lot of buzz from bringing Trevor Lawrence in. And you go out here, and this is basically a circus stunt. This is a sideshow. Tim Tebow is the new sideshow Bob. That's what he is. Tim Tebow is the new sideshow Bob. Come to Jacksonville, pay a quarter, see the dancing quarterback / tight end / African tribe circumcision specialist, 30-year-old virgin, Tim Tebow. This is just, it reminds me of a bad wrestling gimmick. Back from WWF back in the day, or whatever it's called now, WWE, and different wrestlers have all these storylines or gimmicks. This is a gimmick. Come pay a quarter, Come pay a quarter. See the fat, overweight ex-quarterback get cut in half running a 10-yard crossing route over the middle. This is just a terrible idea. Jacksonville's a terrible team, and this is a reason why. The owner signed off on this. One of the ways you become a terrible NFL franchise is by making terrible personnel decisions, whether that's draft picks, free agent signings, swinging and missing on quarterbacks multiple times, whatever. If you're out looking to entertain the masses, This is the NFL's version of the Roman Coliseum. Tim Tebow will be a terrible tight end. Terrible. Does anyone doubt that? Does anyone doubt that? Tim Tebow will be a terrible tight end. This is nothing more than a show, a gimmick, a sideshow. This isn't even a three-ring circus. This is the tent off to the side. This is the tent off to the side. Can't afford your $25 to get into the circus? Come around here to the side, pay a quarter, see the bearded lady, see Goat Boy, see the Invisible Man, the barking yak lady, and Sideshow Bob himself, Tim Tebow. Have a blessed day.